Hey friends, welcome to Hot News. Today we're going to be doing the exact same thing that we did last week with the OnePlus 3A launch, which is going over all of the details and all of the leaks that you can expect of the upcoming OnePlus 7 launch. You see, we're expecting the OnePlus 7 and the OnePlus 7 Pro to come out tomorrow, May 14th. And there's been a huge amount of leaks that have come out beforehand where we basically know nearly everything about the devices, maybe not to the extent that we did of the 3A and the 3A XL, because like nobody spotted them in the wild in Best Buy or anything, but we do have a lot of details that we can cover. So this is going to be one of the first times that OnePlus is simultaneously launching two different devices in two different tiers. However, they're not separated by as much as you would expect, because you're basically getting a flagship level SoC on both of them. That's going to be the Snapdragon 855. And in fact, both of the models will come with either 6 or 8 gigabytes of RAM, which is plenty for most people. However, the OnePlus 7 Pro is expected to also have a third tier in the RAM department coming in at 12 gigabytes. Both of them are expected to have 128 and 250 gigabyte storage options. And it's also expected, but this is a rumor at the time, that they will have expandable storage reintroduced to the OnePlus 7 lineup so that the 256 won't just be all that you get. You can have up to 2 terabytes in micro SD format if you want. That's your prerogative, I suppose, but with all the cloud storage. Anyways, I'm good with the 64 gig phone. I don't really need anything more than that. So let's talk about the lesser device first, which is the OnePlus 7. Design-wise, it's supposed to be very reminiscent of the OnePlus 6T, not much changing, still going to have the dewdrop design, still going to have the rear cameras, and it's expected that it's probably going to retain the same camera setup that the OnePlus 6T has. It's going to have a full HD plus display on a 6.4 inch screen, and the expected price is $499, which makes me regret the purchase of picking up a Pixel 3a XL, which was $479, but comes with the Snapdragon 670 and is only 6 inches instead of 6.4. I want to cry now. So the OnePlus 7 actually doesn't seem like it's going to be a tremendous departure from what we've seen from OnePlus before. It's still the budget-friendly option, $500. You're still getting amazing specs for the price, but on top of that, there's also some shared specs between the OnePlus 7 and the Pro that I want to go over now, which is primarily you're still going to have Nightscape, which is their nighttime photo stuff, which admittedly isn't as good as the Pixel 3 stuff. They're still going to have the in-display fingerprint reader, and this is going to be new. They're both going to have stereo speakers, so it's going to use the earpiece as well as 2 bottom-firing speakers on the phone that allow you to have stereo sound, and then it's going to come in 3 different colors. We got mirror black, you've got a nebula blue, and then what is known as an almond color, in case that's more your flavor. There's also expected to be no wireless charging. As a OnePlus exec stated, we want good charging on our phones, and wireless charging simply isn't good. So no wireless charging expected. Also no 5G support expected at this time, although it is anticipated that there would be a 5G updated phone later on down the line. And then it's also expected that they're going to roll out on the current version of Android Pie and not on Android Q, since that is still in beta, but it likely will get introduced into the beta department before Android Q actually comes out. So those are the things that we're expecting between the two. $500 for the OnePlus 7 with the Snapdragon 655, 6 gigabytes of RAM, 128 gigs of storage, and basically everything that you got with the OnePlus 6T actually sounds really appetizing. But let's talk about the flagship, the OnePlus 7 Pro, because as I mentioned, it's also going to have a 12 gigabyte of RAM update that you can upgrade to, but it's also expected to have a 4,000 milliamp hour battery, as well as a 30-watt warp charging for insanely fast charging times on the phone. And with a 4,000 milliamp hour battery, that's going to be delicious. It's going to last you all day, every day. We're also expecting to get, instead of dual rear cameras, a triple rear camera setup with a 48 megapixel sensor on one of the cameras, a 16 megapixel sensor on another, and then finally an 8 megapixel one. The 16 is supposed to possibly be for 3 times telephoto pictures, and the 8 megapixel is supposed to be for depth sensing, and then obviously the 48 meg is for just high quality photos. And then in the biggest design departure that the OnePlus 7 Pro is supposed to have over the OnePlus 7 is that instead of a dewdrop design, it's gonna have a completely seamless display because it will have a pop-up selfie camera. We're anticipating that it's just gonna be the camera itself, not like a whole sliding device thing like Oppo chooses to do, but that comes out, takes your picture, and possibly, this is currently a rumor right now, it's supposed to be for biometric authentication. Authentication, right? Yeah, authentication. Anyways, it is anticipated that they have rated it for something like 200,000 uses, so that you shouldn't expect it to break on you anytime soon, but the seamless display is something that is going to be pretty good. And that's where we get into the biggest spec upgrade of the OnePlus 7 Pro, is not just the fact that it is seamless with no notch in it whatsoever, but also the fact that it is going to be 6.64 inches, so 0.24 inches bigger than the OnePlus 7. It's gonna have that curved aspect to it. It's also expected to be AMOLED, and then get these specs. It's gonna be QHD+, HDR10+, as well as 90 Hertz on that AMOLED display. So 1440p, HDR10, which means it can go up to 1000 nits, and then it's also gonna be at 90 Hertz, which is insane. It's gonna have all of the best screen specs that you could come to expect on a smartphone these days, all wrapped into one delicious little package. I'm sorry, I just keep saying delicious, and I love it. The anticipated price of the OnePlus 7 Pro isn't really yet known. There is some leaked pricing regarding to what it's gonna cost in euros, but it's supposed to be region pricing, so it doesn't necessarily reflect where it's gonna be everywhere. But it's supposed to start at 699 or 749 euros, which isn't terrible. And if it starts at 699 euros, the highest class specs of the 12 gigabytes of RAM, the 256 gig storage drive, it's supposed to cost 819 euros for that configuration right there, which again is really appetizing considering you look at like the Galaxy S10 Plus, that's over $1,000, and basically the OnePlus 7 Pro is gonna have the same screen specs and a much better people for charging. And it's also expected that this is gonna be one of the first phones to launch with eUFS 3.0 storage, which is the fastest storage out on the market right now. The other phone that was supposed to have it was the Galaxy Fold, but we all know what happened there. So this will make the OnePlus 7 Pro the first phone with the fastest storage imaginable out there, which would put it in a class above the Galaxy S10 Plus in a way that Samsung was trying to counteract with the Galaxy Fold, but they lose because it has the same display quality, but then also has the super fast storage, and it's gonna come in at a cheaper price, which basically, I mean, the OnePlus 7 Pro, if you're into really high-end Android flagships, this is looking to shape up to be one of the best phones of the year. Obviously, the quality has to come out. We have to see what it actually will be, what the price is looking like, but if it's anything like the rumors are indicating, it's going to be something that is gonna take a lot of effort to beat from all of the other smartphone manufacturers. The OnePlus 7 looks like it's gonna be a great, I guess, mid-tier entry. It's not necessarily budget. It's coming in $20 more than the Pixel 3a XL, but then also having features that are a little bit better, including the increased RAM, the better SoC. So that's all that we're expecting from the OnePlus 7 announcement tomorrow regarding the 7 and the 7 Pro. Obviously, things are subject to change. A lot of it is known at this point, like the designs of the two phones. We have leaked images. One of the execs at OnePlus has said that it's getting eUFS 3.0 storage, so those are known entities at this point. There are other things such as the price and maybe RAM and storage options that might be subject to change, but for the most part, we have a good idea of what's coming tomorrow. Are you excited about the OnePlus 7 or the OnePlus 7 Pro? Do you like the 7 over the Pixel 3a XL? Obviously, they might be in two different categories if the price is any different than what is rumored, but it appears that they might be competing for the same budget, especially considering the OnePlus 7 has a 6.4-inch display over the 6-inch on the 3a XL, and that makes me sad, really sad. I think I'm gonna have to buy another phone. Anyways, let me know if you enjoyed these kind of cover roundup videos before these things launch. Keen to hear from you down in the comments. Let me know if there's anything that you want us to do a video like this for that might be launching sometime soon. Sound off down in the comments down below. Hit the like button if you enjoyed it. Get subscribed to stay up to date on all of our hot news. I'm Brett with the Hot News channel. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you smile faces again next video. Love you too. Bye. End the video, Reese. Hit the button.